Hey, what's happening? Thank you for pressing play on this special bonus episode. Now, this bonus episode is kind of tie in to the previous episode a little bit, but I might start making more of these like special, unfiltered, raw, original, no frills, like bonus episodes to go with the podcast. I haven't decided yet. It all depends on how much time I have in the day and in the week. And I'll get into more of that later on this little bonus episode, which I've created for you. Now, one thing that most podcasters always seem to like think about and care about is the downloads. How many downloads am I getting? How many downloads is my show getting? Well, there's probably a different way to really think about this. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first, I want to let you know that if you do not know, you might know, you might not know, I don't know, is that podcasting is not my main job. What? I know. It's crazy to think about. Like, I do all this podcasting stuff like on my free spare time after doing everything else I got to do. Podcasting is like the last thing I have to do, and I do enjoy it so much that I do look forward to creating episodes for you, whether it's on the Chris and Christine show or on this podcast here, or even, yes, making episodes for my clients who they do pay me. I have to say that, yes. And I do make episodes for them, which is a fun little thing, but that's still not my main job. My main regular, like 9 to 5 job is I am a gasoline tanker transport driver, which means I load up the gas at the gas terminal we own, and I take it and deliver it to the gas station. It's a pretty boring job if you think about it, really. It's pretty much the same thing over and over again. You go load the truck, and then you go deliver it to a gas station. Each gas station takes a full load of gas. So it's, unless there have been times where we've split loads apart and things like that, for the most part, it's always the same. It's always like, one truckload goes to one gas station. While I'm there delivering the gas, it takes about 20, 25 minutes or so, depends, almost every time or most times, I'm always having a conversation with somebody while I'm always there. It's like, whether it's a customer, he'll ask me questions like, oh, hey, are you guys hiring? How do you get a job over here? How do you get a job doing what you do? Do you guys get paid pretty well? Questions like that. And I'll say like, hey, well, you need your Class A CDL license. You need a hazmat endorsement, which is kind of hard to get because you got to go through the TSA background and all these steps you got to do to get that. And then you also need the tanker endorsement. And most companies, like my company, I think you need at least a few years of at least driving experience and probably a few years of actual like tanker, gasoline tanker experience to put on your resume before they'll even hire you, because it is a very dangerous job, from, rolling the truck over, catching on fire, flammable, hazmat, all that stuff. So while I'm at the station, I'll answer anybody's questions they have. I'll help them out any way I can. And a lot of the other questions will be like, hey, if you're delivering the gas right now, is it okay for us to fill up? Is the pump shut down? I said, no, you can go right ahead, pick any pump you want. It doesn't shut anything down. And of course, you get all the knuckleheads too that say things like, hey, you want to fill up my car too? And I said, yeah, sure, go right ahead. Bring it right over here. I'll do it for you here. And I bring the big hose over. And I say, where do you want to put this at? In your car seat, in the back seat, the front seat? Where do you want this at? Because it's not going to fit in your car tank. I can tell you that much. So I try to help out anybody, and I have conversations with people all the time when I'm there. I'm always very friendly, especially when I walk into the station and I talk to the clerks. And a lot of them know me personally because they see me all the time. And they're like, oh, yeah, how's it going? How you doing? And we just talk shop or whatever and things like that. And like just the other night, one of the station clerks was showing me a surveillance video that they had a bust that happened at their storefront. A guy got into his car, and like all these undercover like cop cars came in and swooped in and pulled guns out, and they got the guy, and they had it all on video. So it's kind of cool that they're sharing that stuff with me. So we have this kind of very friendly, thing. And like I said, I'm always willing to help people out. Anybody ask me any questions about the job, how it works, where we load the gas, how many deliveries we do, I am very willing to help out anybody that wants to know this stuff. So bringing it back to podcasting, when podcasters say, oh, I only have X amount of downloads. Oh, I only have X amount of people listening to my show. And there's been times where I know my show here does not get massive download numbers. I know that. But the way I look at it is the same way I looked at it when I first started the show is it's not how many people can I get to listen to the show. It's how many people am I able to help? If I can just help one person or two people, just like I'm at the station, when somebody comes over, wants to talk, shop, and ask me questions, I'm willing to help them out any way I can. And when I first started the show, I said, well, this show was designed to help people that need to help create better audio for their audio podcasts. And that's the reason why I started the show was to help people. It wasn't to make me look massive, me look big, or boost my ego. So when I think about, oh, I only have a few downloads or a small amount of downloads, I think of it as, look, I helped these many people, even if it's 100 or 20 or even five. That is five people that I helped create a better podcast. I'm always willing to help, and I'm willing to help you too. So if you have any questions, you always can email me, message me, however you do it. And I'm always willing to write back. I might not always write back immediately because I have, like I said, a real job I have to go to every single night. And then I have podcasting is like on the back end of my stuff I have to do. So I really appreciate you listening to this and happy podcasting.